Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Let me get that out of the way. Hope you're all well and you had a good weekend. Let me just turn this down a bit. Oh, wrong way. I always get that button wrong. The cover, unfortunately, and their poor old iPad. I hope you had a good weekend. It's been yet another crazy weekend of 2020. 2020 is definitely going to go down the record books as crazy town. Holy bundy. Plenty happening around the world. I guess all I can say is I hope you're safe and well and your family and friends are safe. Other than that, it's not safe to say anything about anything else in fear of upsetting someone, I think, at the moment. From what I've seen on the tube, it's a very delicate time in our history. So it's probably better just say, hope you're all well, hope you're all good, be good. That's the only rules I've had in life from my mum was be good. If you're a good person, good things will happen. Sometimes that isn't the truth, but I'm trying my hardest every day to be a good person. That is very hard to do. That's the hardest thing you will ever do in your life. Harder than getting off drugs or grog or anything is being a good person all day, every day. I don't think you realise how much work Gandhi would have had to put in, because that would have been a tough gig, being the world's most peaceful person. I'm sure he would have had a few occasions where he wanted just to knock someone clean out, but that doesn't work, as he knows. So yeah, it's a very interesting concept, being good to everyone, and it just sometimes is you go, ah! I do it, I'm sure everyone else does it. You might not admit to it, but I'm sure you all get that way, whether it's with someone you work with, someone you know, family, friends, wives, partners, kids, doesn't matter. You wouldn't be human if you didn't want to go, ah, at some stage. So try your best. That's all we can hope for. Right, if you haven't already seen it, the Kings Park video is up. Now it's a bit of a weird video. When I was doing the video and editing it, it was sort of a bit of a weird vibe in regards to, at that stage, even in Australia, we didn't have the full lockdown a lot of you guys have had to endure. It was a little bit more flexible. We could just basically got told don't go out unless you're doing some exercise. I'd been home for 3-4 months now with a 2-year-old, getting the house ready, so I basically hadn't done anything. We put all our money into the house to sell, which we can't sell. We just had to take it off the market because the housing market's gone to shit yet again in Perth. It's even worse. It's been bombed for 3 years. Most people have lost well into over 100 grand just off the value of the land in Perth. And then now, during this, it's even worse. These guys, vultures, are coming in and they want to take another 50 grand to 100 grand off something that's already 100. You've lost 100 grand off, so it's just not even worth selling at the moment. It's just a total waste of time. Unless you're desperate, it's just going to give a hot tip. Just don't worry about it. Perth real estate market is dead as a doornail. You'd have to be very, very lucky to get something. So we'd done all that, and so I was basically locked in, couldn't go anywhere, had no money to do anything anyway. I was trying to do this on my push bike and spend as little as possible and try and save every bit of cent we could to save up to buy stuff that I could use for the channel, pay for bills and all that stuff. And then the wife lost the job, all that fun stuff that everyone's had to deal with. And it was a day where I just needed to get the hell out of the house. And I'm sure you've all get it at some stage. It just said, you just went, and that was one of those days I just needed to leave my house and get away from things. It's hard to do. It's when you get a kid, you're trying to do stuff, and I love him to death. He's my most favourite thing I've ever done in my life, is having young Jack. So it's very hard to do, and you do get frustrated, and I'm sure parents know that, but I just needed one of those days, and it did me the world of good, just going for a walk and looking at all those beautiful things in nature that nature provides us that we just don't appreciate, I guess, a lot of the time. And when you're doing land, I guess I consider myself a landscape photographer. I guess that's the genre I sort of feel the best with at least an outdoor photographer, I guess. I did some city stuff. I don't mind. I just enjoy photography, but I do enjoy being able to get out there and just go for a walk by myself and just switch off. And I think that's a lot of landscape photographers will be in that same, how would you call it, same sort of headspace as me, as you feel sort of, most of the time you get a bit claustrophobic, and it's good to get out and just breathe, I guess. You're not really breathing, but let your brain breathe, if that's a thing. So yeah, it was a really good thing for me, and it actually made a huge difference to me mentally and emotionally, I guess, and it was great to see that. And I was really wrapped with some of the photos. There's a couple there's like I call it the Christmas bouquet, which is all these beautiful little berries and stuff in there. Then a massive big focus. If you look at the red one, that's sort of by itself and it's just blown out at the back. That's actually a focus stack. That was like 7 or 8 photos I focus stacked and merged together, and they come up really nice. And that was probably the shot of the video, either that or that Christmas bouquet one I called. But there were some other good ones. The beautiful bird just sat on that little art display sculpture thing, and he just sat there and did his thing. And I got like 2 or 3. The M50 is not a super high speed camera, and not really into sports and all that anyway, so I'm not into the high speed stuff. So to get 2 or 3 good photos with like really good focus on it, and that was one of them. That I got another couple ones, but when he was going down cleaning himself, I thought that was pretty cool. So there were some really good photos, and I'm pretty proud. I'm proud of everything I do. So I mean, you can't be unhappy in photography. It's as I said, each step you get better. So it was a really good one. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, shoot over and check it out. I guess you'll see a little bit of. It's good to capture a little bit of beautiful Kings Park in Perth, which is a beautiful, gorgeous place to go for a de-stress, for a walk, or a bit of family time, or a picnic, or anything like that. And it was sort of good to give myself capture a little bit of that time in 2020 that I can always look back for and just see my headspace, and to remind myself how bad it can be if we don't look after our planet and ourselves and all that sort of stuff. So I think it serves a couple of purposes, that video. Rightio, new video is another astro shot. Obviously, when I was sitting at home, I couldn't go really anywhere, and I only had to push bike, and we weren't travelling too much. So I did get out to Mundaring Dam before it fully locked down and all the full craziness. And I got a wicked night with astro. I had one night where I went out and cloud come through, and that was before I got the Windy app, which I now use, which is awesome, and I recommend it to everyone. To get windy, it'll tell you all about the different cloud levels, and you get to put your location in. It'll tell you if there's going to be clouds, even light clouds, either high, mid or low. It'll tell you and what percentage. Great to plan, especially if you're doing astro stuff. So you get that nice clear picture with either minimal or 0 clouds. So my first night, I went out, got there, and I probably had 10 minutes of some good photos. And you couldn't see them, and it was really clear, but when you took the photos, there was this wispy sort of, I guess, like fog type clouds coming through that sort of wrecked that. So it wasn't as good as I hoped. So I got a chance to go back a week or so later. That's why this video's gone as long as it has to get it out. And I got thanks to Windy app, I got a crystal clear night, and I got some awesome shots. I've been editing the last couple of nights on it. I've got some amazing shots, some stitched up panos with the dam, with the dam with some Milky Way coming above it. I've also got the actual water and surrounds with a couple of big panos as well. I've got some really nice shots. And as usual, when you have one of those really good nights, you have that dilemma of, now I've got so many shots, which one do I pick? So that's where I'm at with that. But it's looking good, and I should hopefully have that all sorted by the weekend. Maybe a little bit earlier. I'll see how I go. Hopefully I can want to try and get through a couple more to catch up a little bit. Okay, on to a bit of the news. Over the weekend, there wasn't much today. Did check, but it wasn't much. I think everyone's sort of, especially in the States, it's a little bit slow at the moment. Obviously, there's some other issues to deal with. But over the weekend, Queensland Uni researcher found a way to use human hair to create carbon nanodots to use as a flexible OLED display. So just take that in context. Your big screen TVs are OLED. They're stiff glass. Jack broke ours, smashed it with a bell, destroyed a $3,000 TV. Just about made me cry. Actually, I think I did cry over that one. But how cool is that? And awesome that it's an Aussie guy, but it's just fantastic anyway for all of us. Got human hair, was able to grow it and turn it into a flexible OLED display. So that's just amazing. There's some brilliant people on this planet. They're bloody amazing humans. We can be nasty, evil people, we can be dickheads, and we can also be bloody geniuses. We need a bit more of the bloody genius at the moment and a little bit less of the dickheads. Trump. And then, yeah, definitely less evil people. But yeah, this is definitely one of those ones that was pretty darn cool, so I thought I'd let you know about that. My favourite TV show is back on June 22nd. If you haven't watched it, you've got Stan, Yellowstone. Go and watch season 1 and 2. Super addictive. Kevin Costner. Awesome. Awesome. For you old people like me, if you're an old bastard, just think Dynasty or Dallas for 2020. That's basically what it is. Dynasty or Dallas. A new form. No oil, but the cinematography is absolutely amazing. If you're a photographer and you love landscapes, just watching this TV show, you can switch off about the actors, but the scenery is just amazing. I think it's Montana. I'm not sure if they actually filmed in Montana, but I think that's the show, the actual show, the town, the fake town they live in or whatever. Just gorgeous country. So yeah, very, very cool. June 22nd, season 3 starts. If you haven't seen it, go binge watch 1 and 2. You will get addicted. It's pretty darn cool. Very cool. It's got everything. The whole works. Anything you imagine in a TV show, it's in there. You'll like it. Canon rumours announced. Usual stuff. It's just sort of beating a dead horse to death at the moment. But we're looking at a possible early July the 2nd or the 6th. We're down to 2 dates now for the R5 and the R6. Sounds like, from what he's been told, that Canon's going to release them both at the same time. Also saying, his sources are also saying that both models are going to be short supply through July, so it's going to take a bit. Depending on the costs, obviously, that rumour's sort of been squashed a bit back under $4,000, so it looks like that R5 will get just smashed on the sales. If you weren't looking at the R5, you're looking at a little bit more value for money. That R6 you probably got a chance to get that one. The R5 is going to be like hotcakes, I would imagine. If it does have everything they've said it's going to have, then it's going to sell super, super quick. So even with all the shit going on, somehow people are going to find that $4,000 US, or what's that, bloody $7,000-8,000 Australian, just to dump on it. So they will go quick. But finally, we're down to 2 days. It's either going to be the 2nd or the 6th. So that dream will be over. We can move on to the next one, the M50 Pro. Yeah, the 1MX. For your photographers that do editing, the Nick Collection 3, the new one out by DxO, they've got a new one out. It's 30% off at the moment. Doesn't look too bad. It's got some fun features. A new sort of goes into your Lightroom, so it's like an addition to Lightroom, and it's got some really cool features. Lots of speeding up the editing process sort of features. I haven't seen it before. I did have a look at it. I want to try and spend some time, probably in shift change, to go right through it and see if it's value for money. It's a once-off payment of $99 US, which is 30% off at the moment. It doesn't look too bad, and considering you're only going to pay for it once and you never have to pay for it again, that's not a bad for software editing. I guess have a look at it, look at the videos, see if it's got anything that you actually use and you're going to use a lot. then it's definitely worthwhile, probably, because if it can save you a couple of hours on editing, well then that's always good, or give you something that you can add into to make that photo mignon. Adorama, the huge Adorama, huge camera company in the States, now has their own credit card. So we had Apple, we've got Samsung, and now Adorama. 6 to 12 month interest free on purchases if you use a card, up to $800. So I think you have to go $400 to $800, and it's interest free for 12 months. Obviously, you got to pay like monthly set fees to pay it back, but no interest. So that's pretty cool. Most companies don't do that nowadays, so that's pretty cool of them. 5% off everyday purchases. So if you are a camera guy, you do shop at Adorama, then this is obviously something that's going to do you, well, it's going to save you money, without a doubt. And I'm sure that 12 up to 800, so it's not really going to help you out with the A5, but for accessories and stuff for it, then maybe. So you might be able to get that lens that you want to put on the R5, or some lighting or anything like that, some accessories to use in your studio. It could be handy. So if you are an Adorama customer, or you've been looking at going to check them out and go and using their services, they seem pretty good. They do some great stuff for creators as well in the back end, with their YouTube channel, all their Twitter stuff and everything. Seth, I watch Seth all the time. He's pretty good with the info, and he's a really nice guy, and they always have heaps of tutorials on YouTube, so it's really helpful for us beginners. So no problems giving a bit of a shout out for that. Pretty cool. Looks like more and more of these companies are doing it. It's tough times for them. Great way to find that little extra revenue stream for themselves. Everyone's fighting to stay alive, so you've got to do what you got to do. China the other day, I think yesterday, told all the people in China basically put Australia on the blacklist for travel. Said don't go here, it's not safe, blah blah blah, which is disappointing. Every country's got dickheads. Every country's got shit places you shouldn't be at certain times. I know every city I've lived in Australia, which is Adelaide, Darwin, Perth, Brisbane. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, bad things will happen. And I 100% know that's relevant to every city on the planet. Yes, every country has dickheads. USA has Trump. We have every politician in Australia. But please don't put that on us all. I'd say probably 80%, 90% of us are good cunts. Oh, that might get... I don't get money anyway, so who cares? We're all good people. We're pretty laid back. We like to enjoy ourselves, have a beer, have a laugh, see the environment. We love this country as much as everyone else does in the world. Come and see us. Don't listen like everyone. I know you have to listen to your government in China. These are pretty much slaves to that government. But if you are coming, see if you can. Come and see us. Come and see New Zealand. Come and see our mates. It's a beautiful part of the world. It shouldn't be not seen. I'm sure that there's places like Iran and Iraq and all places where there's terrible things happening, but I'm sure there's some amazing places there. They've got some amazing people. I'm sure a lot of people would love to go to places like Afghanistan and go and see all those mountain regions. I'm sure there's some just amazing places there, but fair chance you're going to get shot. But it's still a beautiful place, and it's a shame that we can't get to see everywhere, and we can't sort of just be nice to each other. So it's sad to hear that they're doing that. Yeah, they're doing what they're doing. If we just got to be good people like we always have been, and I think let people make up their own mind. We can't force people to come here to come and be tourists. That definitely doesn't work. We can invite you, and we do invite you all to come. If you are coming to Australia and you want to know of places to go in Australia, chuck me a thing down the bottom, send me a message on Instagram, happy to give you some ideas. I've been lucky in my life to travel to pretty much everywhere. I don't know Sydney and New South Wales that well, but every other state, and Tasmania, haven't been to Tasmania. I really want to get there. But yeah, anywhere else, I can definitely give you some hot tips, and I'll be very happy to help you. So come and visit Australia once all this crap's over. And that's about it. Monday, start a new week. Shift change tomorrow night, so I'll talk to you tomorrow, and then I'll be into shift change. So then we'll be into the day logs. So just a heads up, give you a brief one. But that's about it. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you all Tuesday for another day, another vlog. Righto, thanks for you on the podcast too, guys. If you can hear me, hopefully you can hear me. Testing, 1, 2. We do appreciate you stopping by and listening to us, so that's always good. And yeah, righto. Let's get out of here. Go and have some dinner. Have a glass of wine for me, because I can't. I'll go have some dodgy dinner at the mess hall. Righto. We'll be going that way. I'll catch us all tomorrow. Peace.